I've asked you guys to ask me a few questions about my return to the ring on Instagram earlier in the week, and you guys did, so I'm gonna read them. And answer them, obviously. What does it feel like to be back wrestling after so long? Tiring. There's another question, I'll get there. But it's very satisfying. I'm talking very personally. I'm sure that other people felt the same way. And as I said, I've been very lucky throughout the situation because there's a lot of people that had it way worse than I did. But in my case, I've been, because of the pandemic, in this holding pattern. I moved here because of wrestling. And nothing wrestling related was happening. So it feels good to see that now things are happening again. Like, the gyms are open. I've been going to the gym regularly. I've been training regularly in wrestling schools, in the ring. And now that I've been doing shows again, it just feels like slowly things are going back to normal. And that not only makes me happy, but it also makes me feel fulfilled. Do you feel out of practice not wrestling for so long? Yes! Oh my god, yes! The first match back, I've never felt so tired in the ring. It's gradually getting better. The week after it was better, but I think it's growing pains. You know, it's a teething process. I can't speak this language. It's a teething process that we have to go through, and like, I had to bite the bullet and have a very bad performance when it comes to cardio, which then translates to a bad performance in the ring. But slowly, we're getting it back, and the more shows like this I do and the more training sessions I have focused on this, the better prepared I'll be when things do come back. Like, I'm happy that I'm not having that first experience in front of a paying wrestling audience that wants to see a proper wrestling show. Did you find wrestlers that felt the same way as you returning? Everyone. Oh my god, everyone's saying the same. And there's a few that haven't. Like, I've been one of the first ones to have matches back in front of audiences, to be fair. I've been involved in the first few shows that have happened. And all the things that I'm saying happened to me are all things that other wrestlers are dreading happening to them. What's your go-to for letting a gas tank back to full capacity? Well, I've actually replied to this one the day that you sent me the question. Sent you this exercise to work on your kickouts. But there's a bigger answer than that, and I'm not going to be the one answering. This guy is.
Thanks, Talking Head David. Jim David here. In my opinion, you want to be as specific as possible when it comes to training, especially when it comes to something specific as professional wrestling, right? So the number one thing that I'm doing to build up my gas tank is train in the ring at least once a week as much as possible and actually do wrestling, be it with training or at shows like I've done and we're talking about in this video, right? But I also want to have like 1 or 2 sessions a week in the gym where I'm trying to help build that gas tank up. And basically, to continue with the theme of specificity, what I try to do is to kind of mimic a wrestling match as much as possible. So instead of going for steady cardio stuff, I try to do things like jumping and throwing stuff around, picking stuff up, and as much as possible after I'm tired. Then what I also try to do is match upper body and lower body movements, even depending on what I train on the day, right? So today at the gym, I just finished a lower body session, so I'm gonna go a bit lighter on the lower body movements and cardio, and I'm gonna go a bit more intense on upper body movements and cardio, right? What I'm gonna do is 2 exercises that are gonna tire me out, and then 2 exercises that imply me being explosive and intense while I'm already tired. I'm gonna do 100 rope jumps, I'm gonna do 50 attacks, let's call them like that, on the attack rope, I don't know what the term is. Then I'm gonna do 10 box jumps and 10 on each side throws with a bag, but I'm gonna throw them into the box so that I don't have to use my legs to pick up the bag and focus mainly on my upper body, because my lower body is already, not overworked, but it's already worked today. And it's gonna be intense already with the box jumps. I do it as fast as I can, maybe I'll even time it and try to beat that time. Rest for 3 minutes, repeat it 2 times. It looks a little bit like this. Yeah, something like that. I just create whatever I want to, come up with whatever I want to, and hopefully as time goes by and I do this more, it's not that I don't get tired, it's that I do more before I get tired. Cool, 3 minutes rest, do it again 2 times. Talking head David, back to you.
Thanks, Jim David. You're looking jacked, by the way. Is wrestling muscle memory? Do you just pick up where you left off? I was expecting my technique to be worse than what it is. To be fair, I've done a few training sessions when lockdown eased here in UK. So a few in the summer, a few in September, October. I felt like my technique was worse in the one in the summer than the ones that I've been back now. Surprisingly, my technique is still there. I still remember how to wrestle. I just, especially in the first few sessions and the first few matches, I'm just too tired to do it properly. You know, like you can see that I'm tired. Gladly, I didn't forget how to wrestle. I'm just not at the level that I once was before the pandemic hit, because I need to get my cardio to match the technique, you know. That's been my major focus with training, is just to get those two coupled together. Does your gear still fit after lockdown? I'm gonna say no, and I know that the first instinct is gonna be to think that somehow I'm fatter and like it doesn't fit on the waist, but no, like on the waist is exactly the same as it was. That's not an issue. My legs are more muscled now than they were before, because one of the things that I've been focusing on the last year has been to learn how to do a few movements in the gym that are like leg intense, including squats. I had to do a bit of like, I'm gonna call it rehab. And then in the last few months, especially in the last few weeks, I've been able to train 100% legs and actually push myself, because I wasn't in a learning phase for that. So my legs are bigger. So on my groin and on my knees, knee pads and trunks, they were tighter than I remember. Or maybe it's because like it's been 15 months and I've forgotten how tight wrestling gear was, you know? I think it's half and half. I'm jacked, sure, but also I'm forgetting what it felt like before. All in all, I'm so happy I'm back. It's been a great experience. I'm happy that wrestling is coming back, and I hope that slowly things are gonna come back to normal. Wrestling is gonna return, and you guys get to return to shows as well. Obviously, whenever you feel ready, whenever you want to, whenever you feel like you're ready for it, wrestling is gonna be there. And I'm very looking forward to going back to it, and I'm looking forward to have you back as well. I appreciate you watching this video. If you want to, you can check out more of my videos here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me, I don't know, how do you think it feels to come back to wrestling? I don't know. I should have thought of these questions before, to be fair. I'll do that. I'll ask questions in the comments and do that. But thank you very much for watching the video. I appreciate it. There's more here on the channel, matches, highlights, other videos like this one, so make sure you check them out. I'm sure some of them are around me right now, and I'll see you next time. Cool?